Hey, Dwight Clow here, Inner Wealth. I want to just share a quick thought from Luke chapter 7. I think it's verse 36. We read that a Pharisee had invited Jesus over to his house. Jesus accepts this invitation and they have a meal together. And the thought I want to share with you is this, that Jesus feasted while others starved. And now that may sound sacrilegious to you, but that is the truth. That is reality. That Jesus was enjoying a nice meal while others, someplace in the world, somebody was starving. And so if we're going to be real about our faith, we have to look at these kinds of realities. And I just want to, if I can, just unpack this for you a little bit. You know, there are a lot of people in the world who feast while others starve. And the reason they feast while others starve is because they're complacent. You know, they don't care. They're kind of living in their own bubble and they don't really care what's happening to someone else. Somebody else, it's their problem, it's not my problem. They are complacent. But some have kind of been awakened from their complacency and they see the needs around them. And they just feel this drive or this desire to go out and meet the needs of those around them. And they're just willing to pour out their lives and to sacrifice and to do whatever. But often for maybe not the best of motives. Often it's a guilt that drives them rather than a calling that drives them. And so we kind of have these two different ends of the spectrum. Complacency on one end, guilt on the other end. And Jesus calls us to a different place. He calls us to a place of calling so that we have a calling-centered life rather than a guilt-driven life. You know, there are people in the world who have needs that I will never be able to meet. Maybe you'll be able to meet some of them, but there will always be people with needs that you cannot meet. And you can feel guilty about that, but the reality is God doesn't want us to feel guilty. He wants us to be called. In other words, we take our marching orders from Him. We look to Jesus and He lets us know the role that we have in His kingdom. And so sometimes, yes, we do make sacrifices to help people in need, and we should do that. And sometimes, yes, we do feast when others starve because God wants us to enjoy the fruit of our labor. And it's important to be walking in step with God so that we know the difference, so that we don't get lulled by complacency or we don't get driven by guilt. Anyway, hope these thoughts are helpful and encouraging to you. Have a super day. Hey, next time on Inner Wealth, we are going to be talking about the role that the past has in your transformation. Talk about how to overcome a painful past. We're going to talk about putting the past behind you, why forgetting the past never works, and what you can do instead. So anyway, if you're interested, check that out at our website, dwightclow.com. Learn about the Inner Wealth subscription. Thanks so much. Have a great day.